Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our group presentation. And we are group 15, and today we are going to present a study on using Moodle platform in university teaching. Moodle is one of most popular learning management systems using in universities around the world. It helps to both teachers and students and um, to manage lessons, notes, and assignment, and all in one place. After the pandemic, platform like Moodle very popular, and because education had to move online, many universities weren't ready to this sudden change. So understanding how Moodle used in real classroom is very useful even today. Our presentation based on research paper titled A Study About Using E-Learning Platforms in University Teaching Processes, written by Gabriela Grosse. And she is a researcher from Romania who studies how university lecturers use Moodle in their teaching. And throughout our presentation, we will explain background of the paper and research methods and key findings and also what challenges were discovered. And each of us present a few slides with some background and other parts as you can see in the names in the slide. This paper was written by Gabriela Grosick, as you can see, and lecturer from West University on Timisoara and in Romania. Her work focused on using digital technologies in education, especially in online tools like Moodle. And paper we are discussing today was presented at the Edu World 2014 conference, which is an international conference focused on education and global issues. Conference was held in 2014 November, and paper was later published in popular academic journal called Elsevier, one of the biggest leading publishers in scientific research. The research has received more than 300 citations, meaning many other academics have used this study in their own work. That shows how important to find an paper is in the field of e-learning and education technology. Even though this study was done in 2014, it is highly relevant because today many universities include Sri Lanka continue to use Moodle. It gives a good picture of how Moodle works in real university teaching and what we learn from teachers who have used it successfully. Let's look at the main issue research try to solve. Main problem that this study focuses on how universities are facing challenges in digital transformation. Before online learning became common, universities mostly used traditional teaching techniques in classrooms, whiteboards, textbooks, and face to face discussion. But those methods are limited and they don't offer flexibility and can't reach students who are different locations. As technology advanced, learning management systems such as Moodle became popular. But even the software is available effectively, using is hard because of student need time training and motivation to use it. Researcher wanted to understand whether Moodle is actually help solving problems in traditional teaching in universities and what is the experience of teachers using Moodle. Is it easy or does it improve student engagement? And study focus on works in practice, not just a theory. And let's move to the next part, and my friend will continue from here onwards.
Thank you, Mahesh. Now let's talk about the overview of the research methodology. To understand how Moodle is used in real university teaching, the researcher used a qualitative and observational research approach. That means instead of doing surveys with numbers and statistics, she focused on real experiences and situations. The goal was go to deep into how teachers use Moodle, what they like about it, what problems that they face, and how it changed the way they teach. The researcher observed university professors who already use Moodle in their courses. She didn't test them and or measure their performance. Instead, she watched, listened, and recorded their experiences. This kind of method is useful because it gives rich detailed information. It is like telling a story of what really happens in a classroom instead of only showing numbers. Teachers shared their feelings, thoughts, and daily teaching process, which gave the researcher a full understanding of Moodle in actions. Now let's talk about the participant selection. The participants in this study were university lecturers who were already using Moodle regularly in their teaching. They were not beginners. They were teachers who had experience using Moodle to teach real students in real university classroom. Because of this, they were able to share useful detailed feedback based on what they had actually done. The selection was done voluntarily. That means the teachers agreed to take a part in the study because they wanted to share their experiences. The study included lectures from a variety of subject areas, not only science or technology, but also social science and humanities. Now, let's talk about the data collection tools. In order to understand how Moodle was being used, the researcher used a combination of data collection tools. These were mostly qualitative tools, that means they focus on opinions, experience, and behaviors and not numbers. Person, she collected teaching logs and journals from the lectures. These are like personal notes that the teacher keeps about what they did in the class, how the student responds, and how they use Moodle in different activities. She also used observations. And also the researcher also studied Moodle usage records. They are data like how often a student log in, how many times they use forums, and whether they completed assignment online. Finally, the teacher were asked to give their thoughts in the informal interviews and written reflection. This combination of sources gave the researcher a well-rounded understanding how the model worked in the different teaching environments. Now I invite my friend Bhavanta to continue the response.
Now move on to the data analysis part. After collecting all the information, the researcher used a process called thematic analysis to study the data. This means she read through all the materials and group the information into the themes or categories based on similar ideas and experiences. For example, she examined how effectively models supported communication between teachers and students. She also analyzes how course content was shared on the platform, focusing on whether it was organized and easily accessible. Another category was student participation, observing whether model encouraged students to be more involved in the learning process. Finally, she assessed how lecturers used Moodle for activities such as assignment, quizzes, and grading. This process of grouping and analyzing the data allowed, allowed the researcher to clearly identify the benefits and challenges of using Moodle in university teaching. It also revealed patterns such as the common difficulties lecturers' experience and the successful method they developed to overcome them. Most importantly, these findings were based on real teaching experiences, which made them more reliable and valuable. The researchers supported conclusions with real world examples instead of assumptions or theories. Now, let's talk about the limitations of this methodology. Like any research, this study also had its limitations. One of the main issues was that it only collected information from teachers. There was no feedback from students. That is the big gap because students are the main users of the Moodle. Their opinions would have added a lot of value. Another limitation is that the data is subjective. Since the researcher only relied on what teachers said or wrote, it might include personal bias. Some teachers may focus more on positive experiences, while others may only talk about the negatives. Also, the research was conducted in just one university in Romania. That means the findings may not apply in the same way to the other countries or institutions with difficult cultures or systems. Finally, the study didn't compare Moodle with other platforms. We don't know if Moodle is better or worse than tools like Blackboard, Canvas, or Google Classrooms. So we must understand that this is not a general conclusion about all online learning tools. It's only about Moodle. Now let's talk about the next part.
Thank you, Bhavante. This is key findings benefit of Moodle. According to research, Moodle offer many advantages when used properly in university teaching. First, it gives students more freedom and flexibility. They can study at their own pace, watch video again, read lecture note anytime, and submit assignment from home. Teacher also said Moodle improve communication, thought forums, messages, and announcements. They could stay in touch with students outside class hours. It made it easy to give quick feedback and answer questions. Another major benefit was organization. Moodle keep everything in one place: slides, video, assignments, quizzes, and discussion board. Both students and teachers could find what they needed without confusions. The study also found that Moodle support continuous assessment. Teacher could use short quizzes, feedback forms, and weekly tasks to keep track of progress. Students didn't have to wait until final exam to know how they were doing. Finally, Moodle encourage interactive and multimedia learning. Teachers use video, animation, links, and even group discussion to make courses more engaging. These benefits show how Moodle, when used well, can make university teaching and modern and effectively. Let's move key finding challenges of Moodle. Even though Moodle has many benefits, the study also found several challenges. One of the biggest problems was amount of time it takes for teachers to set up a course. Uploading materials, designing quizzes, and creating learning paths take a lot of planning and effort. Another issue is technical skill. Some teachers and students are not confident with technology. They may struggle to use certain features in Moodle, which can lead to frustrations and mistakes. Also, Moodle work best when students are motivated. But in real life, many students lose interest in self-paced courses, especially if there's no live interaction. Some students don't even look in unless they are told to. The research also found resistance to change. Some teachers didn't like moving away from their usual teaching style. They preferred traditional classrooms where they couldn't talk direct to student and use whiteboard instead of digital tool. So, while Moodle can be very useful, it's not perfect solution. It needs proper support, training, and time become effective. Thank you.